Gary, bad result for us, but what's your impression?
Yeah, disappointed because I thought that on the whole we actually played fairly well. We controlled the game, certainly first half. We played through the lines really well. We kept the ball. We got in some good positions. I think Birmingham naturally drop in and defend very resolutely and quite deep, which means when we get chances, the chances with bodies around. So we didn't have any sort of really clear 1v1s with a keeper or anything like that, but we had some good opportunities. I think Bojan forced a very good save from Campy first half, which was a fantastic save. I thought we did enough first half to be ahead, but as it is, we weren't. Probably had a sloppy spell 5 minutes before half time, and then second half at times just not ran out of energy, but just ran out of that last little bit of quality to open the game up, which I think was disappointing. And then we switch off for one moment. You know, they have a chance just before, I think, where Colin strikes the ball and Jack makes a very good save, tips it onto a crossbar. I think that's the only chance they had. And then they get the break where we switch off and we don't defend well. And that was the frustration for me, that we've talking about another game where we've done quite a lot of things right, and then we're frustrated because we don't do the last little bit right. So, you know, that's my overriding feeling, that we're going to talk about losing the game, we're going to talk about where we are in the league, but actually, on the whole, we've performed pretty well again. We should have a penalty, which is why I end up getting sent off, which I think completely unfairly. It's a blatant penalty on the line, and we don't get the break.
What does the referee say he sent you off for?
I'm not going to say anything, but what he says that he sent me off for is basically not what I said, and that's without me going into too much detail, because unfortunately as a manager it's my word against the referee, you know, and whatever he says, you know, but all I'm saying is I think that I've not sworn, I've not been aggressive, I've not been abusive. I think if I had been, I'd have held my hand up and say I probably deserved to get sent off, you know. And in a game like that, when you're 1-0 down against your old team, you could understand being frustrated, but it was probably the one time I actually kept my cool. So, you know, I've spoke about it before. I think it's a poor thing for the game to allow the referee to be able to stride over and brandish a card to the manager in front of the whole stadium, but that's just my opinion, and I'll have to face whatever consequences that come my way.
Do you think we're in danger of managers being afraid to get up out of the chair? They'll just...
Well, that's what's going to happen. I've said this before. That's what's going to happen. I've watched the footage back. I take one hand out of my pocket and I say 2 penalties, and that's all I do. I'm not aggressive. I don't run over to the referee. I don't scream at the referee. And the problem is, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up just sitting there saying nothing. You're not going to be able to challenge any decision. You're not going to be able to challenge any moment in the game. And I just think it takes, all it does is it gives... listen, I'm probably best not to even speak about it.
The one on the line, Gary, from where I was in the stand, cast iron penalty. I don't know if you've seen the replay.
It's a penalty. The fourth official said that the player's hand didn't move, but in my opinion, if you have 2 hands where the ball's going to go by your stood out, you're doing it blatantly to try and block the ball, and that's exactly what happened. So for us not to get a penalty on that situation, I think is wrong. But you know what? That's the way it goes. You can make those decisions. You can get them wrong. And then we'll probably get a report saying that all the decisions were probably right.
Do you know the rules now? Do you know if you'll get a touchline ban? Do you know if you can appeal?
I've got no idea. I think if I'm going to get a touchline ban for saying that I believe it was 2 penalties, 2 handballs, then I would imagine there's going to be an awful lot of touchline bans this season, you know. So listen, I'd rather talk about the game in truth, and how frustrated we are with what I felt was on the whole a pretty good performance. But Birmingham are good at what they do, you know. They drop in, they counter-attack. They didn't really hurt us in any way. They didn't have any possession. They didn't have any control of the game. But when you keep it a 0-0, we spoke about this ourselves, when you keep it a 0-0, you always give yourself a chance for one breakaway. And we've switched off, 2 of our defenders have switched off, and we've given that an opportunity, and you know, fair play to them.
And from watching then the stand again, it's just the quality, isn't it, that we need in front of goal?
Just the last little bit, just that last little bit of quality, that last finish, that last little bit of bright play, the last good ball rather than a ball that hits the defender. Again, we've had a couple of good chances first half. We've had Bojan's chance where Campy makes a great save. We have Joe's chance second half. We have Sido's chance on the line. Ince gets into some brilliant positions, just couldn't quite find that magic. So I'm actually not overly disappointed with the performance. and that's the frustration, you know, because what we should be saying is we should be saying that we've won the game or drawn the game, certainly not that we've lost the game. But listen, like I said, credit to Birmingham, they've come here, they've done a job on us, they've took their chance that they created. And that's what happens in football. You don't have to have lots of the ball to win the game.
And we've shown what we can do with the last 2 games, 2 wins previous to this. You must think, you must still be confident that we can push on.
I am. I just said that to the players. I'm disappointed that the game and how we feel gets defined by that 1 second of switching off, and that's a disappointing bit. But that's what happens. You know, you can be on a good run. That's this division. You can be on a good run. You can make 1 mistake in a game and suddenly that run comes to an end. So you've got to then be resilient, you've got to then go again, you've got to then not allow the result to affect how you feel about your recent form. You know, and that's what we've got to do. So we're frustrated because once again I think you've seen a team perform to a level that's above where we are in the league, but we're not quite doing the job, sometimes mainly in our own box, but sometimes in the opposition box as well, and today that's probably where we just fell short, that little clinical edge at both ends.
And finally, Noah Tebo today, is he injured or was that tough?
Yeah, he felt his hamstring yesterday, so he wasn't quite right. We took a little bit of a gamble again with 1 or 2, maybe just 1 or 2. I thought Joe looked a little bit leggy today, but he's put so much energy into the previous games and obviously his international games, and I think it's to be expected. So that's the flip side of having 10 internationals, is that you have to put up with that, you have to accept it, and we have to deal with it. So, you know, so I'll have to make some good decisions Tuesday from the stand probably, and we'll see what happens.